any farther than 10 yards away from Kenshi. Okay?
Yeah, I mean,
as Butcher needs that overhead pound sets plus on block to stay as close to him as possible.
Yeah, Butcher is really devastating, especially in that down 4 range where he can cancel into the overhead that is plus and then check you with down 3. I mean, the Butcher game plan is simple, and it's called put you in the blender all day. And just like that, disrespecting it with a throw is Kradwell, though. But Leatherface was indeed plus there. And Kradwell actually opting to go in then play the keep away game like you had mentioned earlier, which is what Possessed really wants to do to stay away from that mix.
And then even if you take a look at it up close, Kradwell seems to be doing very well. Oh, and that is extremely unsafe. Thankfully, no punish. And he's just going to go for the quick grab, put himself in the open space. That was extremely smart by Kradwell. Now, 2x4 is doing well. The only issue is that he's not adjusting to Kradwell. Pretty much disrespecting those plus frames. Oh, the neutral jump punch, but a miss hit confirm on that. Definitely not something you want to do this early on in the set. And this is going to be trouble for a 2x4. But it's almost like Kradwell is comfortable being up close as well. Beautiful use of the armor on that EX teleport there.
Oh, and the big old strings hitting for 2x4, and even better, hitting behind his hitbox, which puts Kradwell's back to the corner, and Kradwell opting not to armor and eat all of this mix and this pressure, which is plus if he cancels into that overhead, but there is always a gap when he cancels into it.
Oh, and that was actually punished. He's going to keep it simple. Still has a chance to take this round. Plus on block, uses the EX command grab. And this should be chipped. Now, what's really interesting about this is that 2x4 is keeping the pressure going, which is good. But Kradwell is still only using his EX overhead to keep away instead of interrupting the pressure, which is actually not working out too well for him. And 2x4 is just mauling in the corner now. Look at the 20% on that command grab.
And just like that, he gets the plus frames, checks with that down 3, and you know what? If you do not armor, that is a guaranteed poke. I believe.
Butcher, please, what is happening?
It finally mixes up with the low, and here comes some mixes.
This mix is ridiculous. Plus on.
Oh, and the command grab! Here we go!
Ooh, 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 ooh. And he's done, right?
Is he done? No! Oh!
God, it's so brutal. It's so easily the best brutal in the game by far. I'm so happy. This is how we started off tonight. We get to saw a brutality that I don't think I've seen since they announced Leatherface on stream.
When they did that on NetherRealm's stream, that was the highlight of that entire stream, and everyone talked about it for at least a week, was the hammer brutality. And Kradwell implementing that game plan that I said right out of the gate, that's the Butcher game plan, is they want to continue that pressure with the overhead slam, check it with the down 3, and Kradwell here looks pretty lost. And confirmation from some admins, Kradwell is the actual...
That's what I thought.
Is the actual correct pronunciation. Kradwell rolls off the tongue a little bit easier, but Kradwell. Defensively has really fallen apart. He needs to armor those gaps, or at least armor after the plus frames to stop this man from generating pressure, because we haven't seen the huge combos yet from Leatherface. This man can do some big damage into a looping vortex with the spark. We just haven't seen it yet. He's died to simple mix.
Outside of really the chip damage by 2x4, those command grabs between 12 and 20% if he meter burns it is insane. There we go, the down 1 against the disrespect of plus frames. It's a smart move to make, but now you take a look at how Kradwell is using the meter again. He's saving it to try and stay away instead of interrupting that pressure, and it's costing him a lot of health. And these little bits of 14% every single time he touches Kradwell, those add up. I mean, this is virtually even without a single full combo going off. Kradwell finally getting the distance here, no doubt gonna try and just zone him out here. There you go. Just the panic 1-1-1. I respect it. Kradwell taking the first round. A little bit of over a bar meter to use here. But again, he seems to be crumbling up close. So you see him now just keeping his distance.
Oh, and a lot of jumping and 2x4 with the full screen trip guard, it looked like. And he's going to get him cornered, but wow! That was a savage back throw into the corner if I've ever seen one.
There's just no... Oh, this is going to hurt.
Oh, what is going on right now? That was...
Blood all place. One bar, 41%.
That was Swag City with instant jump normals and instant NJPs. That was absolute swag.
Very nice little hit confirmed there by Kradwell. So that's a chance to take this match, but 14% again. And the EX command grab, that's death. 2x4. Really interesting. We never get to see this.
Yeah, this is fantastic Butcher play, and wake up armor finally coming from Kradwell, and looked for the meterless launcher in the low part of that interactable, but now he has to eat all of this mix. Now he's got the bar. Is he going to disrespect it? No, he does not know that there's a gap there, I believe.
He's just, the amount of conditioning that 2x4 is doing right now is so nice, because you know that EX low is going to be coming sooner or later. And this should be death.
And just like that,
tell me this is a brutal.
oh, so close. And so many of those chainsaws actually are, but 2x4 with a good comeback there. The big difference is Kradwell on the defensive, not really knowing Butcher Leatherface, but you know, that's a hard thing to come by, is Butcher matchup experience. And so not a lot of people are going to know the ins and outs. And, you know, when a character can constantly be plus like that, even though there's a gap, if you don't know there's a gap, I mean, down 3 overhead in the corner and down 4 overhead in the corner are very hard to deal with if you do not lab against it. And some characters can get a poke out 6 frames, but like I said, if you haven't labbed it, it can be really tricky. And the moment you get hit, you're into a giant combo, guessing again off the spark, and you can fall apart. So Kradwell definitely, after this match, if he falls apart here, is going to have to do some homework on Butcher.
I think even regardless, the one thing he'll take back from this set is that, what we should all take back from this set is that you need to be ready for any matchup. You know, you're talking about how low overheads are hard enough to deal with, let alone Butcher's low overhead pressure is plus on block. So you need to find a way to deal with it. But Kradwell's doing well in the mid-screen game. He's disrespecting the plus range, knowing that 2x4 is more than likely going to be counter-poking with a high instead of his normal poke. And you see the down ones to disrespect it. It's very smart. But now he finally gets opened up. He has to break here if he wants to get away with this round.
Oh, he got him with the restand.
I honestly did not even remember that Butcher had a restand.
And that was so smart.
Play this character.
That was so smart if you had forced Kradwell to block there to try to gain the extra meter, so he'd have a bar going into the next round. Waking up with the overhead. Oh, the 50-50. Here we go. Oh!
I don't even know what he was trying to go for there, but he's still sitting on set point. Kradwell's life just deteriorating right before his eyes. Going for the block screens, trying to get something going. The down 2 whiffed. So close, just trying to keep the pressure going, walking down 2x4, beautiful backdash, but an EX overhead to punish accordingly. It's so close, and the armor right through 2x4 with a commanding victory. 3-0 over Kradwell with Butcher.